Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at more updates in terms of the wells and drilling. We're also going to be looking at another update in terms of the Freedom of Information Act and another response from the SEC. So stay tuned for that. And before we get started, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the markets. First headline from Market Watch. Stocks are making a run for record territory. Will the Fed end its rate hikes anyway? So we are very, very close to a potential peaking of interest rates, I believe. And we did have a good news in terms of inflation. It came down much more significantly than expected. So that basically means there is more chance of no rate increase. So overall, I think it may be a 50-50 decision. So we will be watching carefully this week for news of that. Another big week also for earnings. So we can see here the key companies we are going to be watching. We've got Meta, we've got the Royal Caribbean Group, we have Ford, we have Intel, and also Enphase Energy. And Friday, I think a big one will be ExxonMobil. So following on from the previous video where we looked at the post with regard to 3 new wells that were submitted by Nectar-Rich Hydrocarbons, so shout out here to KJ Forever, who's also added on a satellite image, and this is with regard to pipes used for drilling down and potentially extracting oil. So if we look at the image on the second on the right there, we can see circled in red certainly what looks like to be pipes. So that is potentially good news. And if we have a look at the post here from C-Plant added onto his thread earlier on, he stated, here are some updated maps. You can see the highway location and proximity to the pipeline, and now we have seen images potentially what looks like pipes. So remember what the company have also stated is they are working on behind the scenes. They are conducting operations as far as they can. They are complying with the requirements and the obligations of the lease. And we've also had a message from Clifton who stated that we will also be getting updates soon, and hopefully this is a positive update. So before we look at the Freedom of Information Act update, I'd like to share with you a post that I shared earlier today, and that is with regard to the U3 halt. So having a look again on the FINRA website and on the page with regard to trading halts, I can confirm that since the U3 halt on the 9th of December 2022, there has not been another one issued by FINRA. So the U3 halts are very, very rare. So since 2020, there have only been 5. And in many cases, many of these halts are temporary and the stocks continue to trade. And that is what we initially expected to happen with MMTLP, but obviously that did not happen. So MMTLP was unique. It was one of a kind and something that FINRA has never seen before. I don't think anybody else has seen that before. So as a community, we're not going away. We may have some divisions, but what we are certainly united in is continuing with the fight, not going away, and making sure that our voices are heard. Let's now have a look at the response from the SEC with regard to the next update on the FOIA request. So we can see here this letter is dated July the 18th, 2023, Freedom of Information Act. And what's also interesting here, it states that this letter responds to your request dated and received in this office on July the 14th, 2023. So what it certainly looks like here is there has been a much more speedier process. So that is just a staggering 4 days in terms of responding to this access request. So the access request for all emails to the SEC from the SEC with regard to correspondence with FINRA and also correspondence regarding MMTLP from December the 15th, 2022 to this January the 30th, 2023. And also key variations of the word MMTLP. But obviously what they have stated here, again, access is denied, but what's also interesting is similar to the previous response, it looks like what the SEC have done is very quick copy and paste. So in terms of the exemptions, the responses and the reasons for the refusal, it certainly seems to be exactly the same. Exemption 6, they are saying we are now, again, like they said before, we are protecting the records of our information when disclosure would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. So we don't know whose personal privacy they are protecting, but somebody's personal privacy is much, much more important than solving the harm and the damage to thousands and thousands of victims of the MMTLP fiasco. They've also stated here under Exemption 7A, they are protecting from disclosure records for law enforcement purposes, the release of which could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement activities. So I'll take that. If they are saying there are enforcement activities going on and releasing that is going to obviously harm that, well, let's see some action on these enforcement activities, because if you remember, FINRA did say in one of the earlier released FOIA requests that there is obviously allegations of fraud, which they were investigating, but obviously we've never had an update on that, including in the FAQ. So they've gone on to say here, Exemption 7C, again, protecting records and information, the release of which could be reasonably be expected to constitute the unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. So they're using personal privacy twice. They seem to be prioritizing personal privacy above harm, and they believe that personal privacy is much, much more important. Then Exemption 8, they've stated they're protecting information related to operating and inspection reports prepared by or on behalf of the use of the Commission, which is the SEC, or any agency responsible for regulation or supervision of financial institutions, and that is the FINRA. So they are protecting the information between the SEC and FINRA. They believe that that has to be protected. I don't know why. And they've said here, we have considered the foreseeable harm. I don't really think they have considered the foreseeable harm. This letter seems to be a very, very quick copy and paste and repeat of the previous refusal. So that is exactly why I believe that this response was issued in 4 days, because they have now got their template ready. And again, standard response, you may file your request and your appeal on the form there. And finally, we request for expediting processing, and a fee waiver is moot because we were able to process your email request within 10 days at no extra cost. So in terms of the member who submitted it, he stated here, I just submitted the 4th FOIA request after getting a final rejection of another appeal. So this member is certainly not giving up. This time he's requested FOIA information with regard to the 1st of December 2022, the 20th of July 2023, or simply the total number of requests. So he's certainly not giving up. He's not going away, just like the rest of the community. And he stated here, my talk with one of the FOIA processors suggests to me that there have not been many requests. So that's a message to everybody out there that you could certainly add in your requests as well. Let's keep them busy, because there was one request that was approved. I'm not aware of any others, but hopefully, you know, there could be more. So he stated here he has processed maybe a dozen, and there are 15 to 16 staff processing these requests, so the number appears to be greater, maybe around 200 than 2 months ago when he was first asked. So again, interesting there. But again, the key message is we should certainly keep submitting, because the volume of requests may eventually be exposed, and this one did come fast, and I could certainly see why. I finally like to finish off by providing a quick review of our weekly watch list. So this is something that shared exclusively with the Discord members prior to trading on the Monday. So in the previous week, one of our best calls was ticker symbol EVLO, and that was up 218% on the week. So congratulations to everybody who got in EVLO. We also called out CVGW, that was up over 7.6% on the week. NKLA, we've been watching that for a while, so congratulations to everybody in on that. And that would have given you a return of approximately 15.2% on the week. METX, up 6.6% on the week. WULF, Wolf, also featured in some previous videos. It was up 1.4% on the week, but there was also an opportunity to get a 20% return Tuesday to Thursday. A lot of these stocks are volatile, do pull back very, very quickly, so great idea to take profits. Plug is one we were watching, up 10% Monday to Wednesday, and also up 1.2% on the week. FREQ, that was up 14% and 16% Monday and Tuesday. Then there was a sell-off and it did close down 5.6% on the week. PRFX, we've also been watching, an extremely volatile stock. There was a sell-off Monday to Wednesday. Then Wednesday it did go up very significantly, 47%, before another sell-off, closing down 17.5% on the week. AIMD, quite volatile again, showing 5 opportunities to get returns of 10%, closing level on the week. And finally, we've also been watching FNGR. That's a high risk stock that has had a very significantly positive run up, but we did see a very big pullback last week, and that was down 29% on the week. So finally, if you would like to get a copy of our next weekly watch list, this will be shared prior to trading. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.